All right, Feisties, we are back for our last few holiday shows. We have Joanne with us for as long as her internet's working. We have Dede Griesbauer with us today. How are you, Dede?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. How are you?
I feel like we're already in the holiday spirit here. We're already a little checked out, right?
Honestly, we got our first significant snow here in Boulder today. So all of a sudden, it really does feel like Christmas. Yes, very much.
Well, I only have one day left of work. I worked my second last day today. I've one more event left, and then I am on my holidays.
You said you have 400 people signed up for your holiday
Yeah.
fit challenge.
Fit for Christmas. We are getting a lot of people motivated for Christmas. So, Dede, we do this thing every year where we do daily festive themed challenges, 20 to 30 minutes of movement every day across the month to encourage people to just stay active. So like can be complete beginner triathlete, could be like a really experienced athlete who's doing something, or it could be somebody who just enjoys having some chocolate and sitting on the couch. There's no judgment here, but we get people engaged doing it. So we've loads of people signed up, and big shout out to all the Feisties who heard about it on the last podcast and joined us. So yeah, so we've people from all over the world joining us, and registration is going to close on this coming
you
Sunday.
haven't started getting fit yet. That hasn't started yet.
Oh no, I have. Excuse me, I have. So while you guys are all recovering from eating so much turkey after Thanksgiving, I did 11K on a treadmill last Friday. Just thought I'd let you know I did 11K. I'm so proud of myself on a treadmill, lads. Do you know how hard it was to get on a treadmill and run for 11K?
I'm a freak show. I love a treadmill. And I think it's the swimming background that I'm so used to, like a black line on the bottom of the pool, that like with the treadmill, I have like the whole room to look at. So it's like a whole new world. I love my trainer.
But
I love my trainer. I love this.
Hello,
is
doggy.
Sawyer. This is the puppy.
Dede's dog is joining us.
Yes.
The puppy looks like a full-grown
I was
human.
about to, Joanne, do a little plug here and be like, clearly you don't have the new Wahoo treadmill, which is amazing and very nice and is a discount right now. And you can use the Feisty link to get a free fan. So
well, if Wahoo want to send a lovely treadmill to Ireland, I will happily run on it. I did a run last night around the estate where I was staying for the conference I was hosting today. And I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, which technically is the middle of the night. And I ran 5K on the treadmill. So there's a little bit of a mindset shift happening here. I'm trying to become friends with the treadmill.
Okay.
I'm getting there, but I feel like we could be breaking up pretty soon. I've got commitment issues.
I think we all could try to use that Wahoo treadmill. I've never used a Wahoo treadmill. I think it's time.
It's very nice. It has like all this stuff, all these different features that basically mimic running outside more. Like you can just run and it changes speeds and yeah, it's very crazy. So yeah.
Wahoo, I can send you my postcode.
Dede, what did you do did you do a turkey trot?
I did not do a turkey trot. We had my mother-in-law here for about 2.5 days, and we had a very quiet Thanksgiving. We didn't even have turkey, which is actually fine with me because I don't really particularly like turkey that much. My husband's a good Maryland boy, and he made some crab cakes, which were delightful. And we went for a nice hike around the reservoir with 2 of our 3 dogs. And yeah, we had a very nice time.
Have you had a time?
Kelly,
I did a turkey.
You had turkey.
Kelly. I had a turkey. Yeah, I had a turkey trot. I will tell you guys, we did this. It was called the Tutu Turkey Trot. It's 2.2 miles, and you're supposed to wear tutus. It was for the school district. I think they thought they were going to get like 100 people, and 600 people showed up. And they had to close the roads, which is like fine for Thanksgiving morning because there were no cars. But yeah, so it was like, at one point, you had to wait for all the strollers to get down the ramp to get out of the school. Like, it was a little crazy. But we did it with our kid in the stroller. And my husband was determined that he was going to be the first baby. So he was like, weaving all the strollers.
There's always one competitor like that. Like, there's always one person that's like, I am going to win the stroller division. My mom did a turkey trot. This is ages ago. She entered the walking division. And when she finished, I was like, that was so good, Mom. Good job. She's like, this guy was in the walking division and he jogged. I tell you, turkey trots are supposed to be amazing, but people like the competitors come out and it's like, it's crazy.
It was, for 2.2 miles, it was because I have not been I've been like, my progression has been very slow. It's the fastest 2 miles I've run in, a long time. So I was like, well, there you go. Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
And then I had to like eat a lot to recover.
And what color was your tutu?
I didn't bring a tutu. I know.
Kelly, I'm really disappointed as the princess of this podcast. I'm so disappointed you didn't have like a tutu.
Next year.
Amazon that up right now.
Yes. Maybe Wahoo will send her one along with the a
Wahoo tutu.
Try to get a tutu.
All right, Dede, before we got on, I told you I was going to ask you to start the show what you thought, especially now that we're getting down to the end of the year, what you thought was the best race this year.
I mean, I think the most exciting race to watch has to be the Women's World Championship in Kona. Like, it has to. Not because, I think because of it's kind of like and I don't like to use this parallel because I'm not even particularly a fan, but it's kind of like a baseball game where it's like, oh, snooze, everything's sort of going like everyone expected it to until 5K to go. And then the whole world exploded. It's like someone hit a home run in the top of the ninth, or I don't even know the baseball term, but
you're trying.
Everything changed so quickly and so severely that I think that has to go down as sort of the race that seemed the most predictable and got turned absolutely on its head in the 11th hour. And so those that tuned in start to finish, I was not on the mic for that, but I was watching, and I think the most exciting race by far.
Yeah.
It's funny because, in Ireland, the timing is completely different. So people went to bed believing that Taylor would win. And then they woke up the next morning. They were like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. And
we've seen the end result. We expected it to be as it was. And my
word, like scrolling through the internet to find the clips of, oh my gosh, what happened? Like, how could this possibly have happened? And I don't want to short the men's race because like having those guys run shoulder to shoulder, like again, like world championship events, they just absolutely brought it this year. But I think the women's, for how dynamic it was there at the end, was insane.
I do feel kind of bad for the last races here left because we had like such exciting races, and then I think we all were like, we're done. And then it's like, oh, and there's still Ironman Cozumel and Ironman Western Australia and Bahrain 70.3 and and obviously T100 Qatar is this week. And you're like, oh, I'm in holiday mood now.
Think about what the athletes think about how the athletes feel.
I know. Well, when you think about this time last year, I mean, it's the 3rd of December. I think I was I
you would have been in New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was such a long season, and then it starts so early. Then again, so short season this year. So short. So short.
Did you guys last couple weeks? I mean, because we didn't have a show last week. So last 2 weekends of races, like we just said, there are still some races here. I feel like the big one that stood out to me the last 2 weekends is Cozumel. Lisa Perterer got her Ironman win.
But she didn't get her slot.
That's what I heard. So then I was going to say, I gather she missed the awards.
She apparently there was a parking situation. I think the awards / roll downs were at one of the host hotels, and the traffic, the roads are not wide. There's not an abundance of parking in Cozumel. And I think they were struggling to find a place to park. She literally ran in, and God bless Mexico, but people race in Mexico and they sort of know like things will be mostly on time-ish. Like there's a certain flexibility that comes with racing in Mexico.
There is a certain flexibility that comes with racing. I have raced
there. They started that awards business like on time and called the women's pro podium up to the stage at the top of the hour and did the slots, and the women were literally walking off the stage, and Lisa walks in at 3 past the hour and it's done. And there's precedent for that. I mean, Lanzarote a couple of years ago, it happened to a male, and I raced Ironman Brazil 1,000 years ago, and it happened to Nina Kraft, who again was taking a race provided shuttle and didn't make it to the pro slot roll down on time. And there's like 3 minutes, it could be 30 seconds, it doesn't matter. So I believe that was honored. And Lisa is certainly talented enough that she's going to have no problem like securing a slot, but to have gone through that effort after the season that she's had to take care of that now, so she doesn't have to worry about that next year and could script her year. It's a bummer for her, but what a performance she put on.
I think, and I'm gonna that Ironman did give the guy who missed one. Eventually, they gave him a
wild card.
I don't want a wild card, spot, because it was like an Ironman shuttle he was on or something like that. I will say though, this happened to my husband. This happened to when he did Tahoe 70.3. Same thing. There's only one road in. There was like a traffic jam. All these people were late, and he got there, and they had handed out his spots. Right. Now, they ended up having extras at the end because there was rolled out, whatever, and they gave him one. But they were about to then do the full iron because there was a half and a full that year. And he literally said to the person, he was like, because she was like, well, you should have been here on time. And he was like, if this happens for the Kona spots, you're going to have a mutiny. Yeah. You better like wait 30 minutes. Have you met your customers?
Yeah.
So they like had to wait because it was just like, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. People would not be happy.
No.
So do we know, has Lisa received a slot?
My understanding is that at this point she has not. They stood by the decision that she was not there at the time the slots were awarded. And I mean, knowing Lisa, and I don't know Lisa well, but by observation, like when she got that penalty at Lake Placid, for like 8 seconds, she was like, man. And then she was like, okay.
Right.
So I think knowing her personality, the little amount that I do, she will take it in stride. And like I said, she's so supremely talented. She should have no problems getting her slot, but it's a bummer.
It's definitely a bummer. And she's racing in Qatar this weekend. Is my understanding. She's literally there right now, according to her Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't think she's going to race another Ironman this year. But the Qatar race this weekend is the last big one of the year? Question mark.
Nice.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
I think it is.
The race is actually next weekend, December 12th. Super, super late in the year. People are already there. So we'll do more of a preview next episode. But as far as I can tell, in the standings, it's Kate Woff, Julie Duran, Lucy Charles Barkley, but they're all like 6 points apart. And the last race is worth 55 points. So yeah, it's 128 points, 122 points, and 119 points right now between them. But the last race is worth 55 points. So I think whoever wins basically wins. That's my math.
So between Kate, Julie, and Lucy, whoever wins. Well, but it depends though, because there's very few points between Kate and Julie though. So what's second place?
It's 9 points back. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like 55 points for the win in Qatar and like 46 for second place. So that's enough. That's like
the spread is enough to cover whoever wins.
The spread is enough.
Yeah. Winner take all. Yeah.
Wow.
So that'll be exciting.
Is there anyone on the start list that we're outside of the top three that we're excited to see race?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously Ash Gentle could just upset all of them, right? Of course. Paula Finley, Taylor Spivey, Holly Lawrence. Lucy Byram is making her return after, which is great. Yeah. So obviously she had the whole like tragedy earlier this year and her partner got killed. So it'll be really nice to see her back on the start line.
And is this,
and I think,
I'm totally, that's the one I was going to say.
I was just about to say, Imogen Simmons is back. Dede, we're on the same wavelength.
Imogen was supposed to race Laguna Phuket last week, but she was sick, I think. Yep. But yes, she's now going to make her return at Qatar as well. So that'll be good. So those, I think, are two that people are, that have not raced this year, but we're looking forward to.
No sign of Taylor Knibb on that.
She's actually ill. I found out yesterday. I went to swim with the group, and apparently she was not planning on going, but she also she's well into her off season and got the flu, I think. So she's down for the count and into her off season. Yeah.
She got the postseason illness that I feel like always hits, right? Everybody.
It's like you make it through the season, you're like, phew, I made it through. And then like after a week of sitting on your butt, then all of a sudden you're like, now my immune system decides to go on protest.
But do you not think that's just the body reacting to like, do you know when you've got an end point and you're like, I just got to get through this. I just got to get this. I can't get sick now. I got to get to this. Like I am, even though I'm finishing work, I'm actually not.
You're gonna get sick.
I'm keeping busy.
You're gonna get sick
It's not
next
like
week.
I am. Don't be manifesting, Kelly. You've got to understand that Kelly said stuff. She manifests stuff. Wait till you see there's going to be some strange thing in the Olympics in LA in 2028, and it was said by Kelly on this very podcast. So no, Kelly, I'm not getting sick because I'm going to stay really busy next week. I'm going to gradually ease myself into my break. You know, it's important. I think if you do a hard stop, your body suddenly goes,
I know.
Whoa, she's letting me recover. Okay, I'm going to make sure she recovers. Boom, down, into bed. You are out for the count.
Okay, so you're going to stay very busy next week and trick your body into thinking you're not done. Perfect.
Fit for Christmas, baby. Fit for Christmas.
On her walking treadmill.
Perfect. But yeah, so Taylor.
My walking in my Wahoo Wonderful, my Wahoo Wonderland treadmill.
So Taylor is definitely not racing.
Definitely not, is my understanding. Not. I mean, who knows? It's Taylor, so you never do know. But my understanding is no. She is. I've seen her a couple times, and she said she's in her off season. And then I did hear yesterday she was ill, so I don't think she will be on the start list. Or she's on the start list. I don't think she will be on the start line. Sorry.
No, I don't think she's even on the start list anymore officially. So.
No, I don't.
I want to say a second here because we will talk more about Dede's retirement. So you're still going to swim practice, Dede?
I am. Like, what are you going to do? Old habits. Here's the thing. I didn't have a whatever it was 21-year career because I just like swimming and biking and running. Like I still enjoy doing all of those things, and because I won't be doing them at a professional level on an Ironman course anymore, doesn't mean I will stop doing those things. Yes,
sure.
Do you know what's interesting though? We had Lauren Brandon on the show a short while after. Right?
No,
and actually, our Katie doesn't go to the pool either.
Yeah,
I say our Katie. She's the fiercest. He's just like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you are definitely changing. You're changing the game.
Am I? I don't know. I think it can go either way. And I know even at the professional level, as talented a swimmer as Lauren Brandon is, she really getting her to the pool and getting her to swim more than 4K was like chewing glass for her. She would just. It was, she had enough. I don't know. I haven't. There's something about being in the water that I find very zen. So I will be a lifelong swimmer.
What is your,
can I ask, sorry, Kelly. I was going to ask, you mentioned, getting Lauren Brandon to swim 4K was difficult. So, what was the distance that was difficult to get you to go to? Like, were you swimming 6, 7, 8K? Is this, is it your zen place? Get in and swim for a couple of hours?
No, yesterday our session was 4.5K. Yeah. In 75 minutes. It was we were going, it was pretty good. And when I swim with a group, it's usually about that 4 to 5K. If I get in and swim by myself, which I think I've done twice, it's 2 to 3K. But I'm swimming with a group twice a week is my plan. My schedule is evolving, but I'm trying to keep some structure to it, again, to trick my body into thinking boom, it's over. So we're figuring out the new normal.
What is your, it's always interesting to me when pros retire, how much they keep doing per week, right? Because some people are like, oh yeah, I really toned it back. I'm doing 15 hours a week now. And I'm like, ha. So what is your amount here?
I was 12 hours last week.
Okay.
So
Joanne just put down her glass.
That's less. That's
12
that's less than half. That's less than half. So that's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
And how did you break it down? So in terms of your training now that you've stepped away from having to go swim, bike, run as your career, what's your choice now? How are you breaking down the percentages across the training?
Again, it's an evolution. I have some athletic goals that I will be pursuing in the future. They're mostly, I know this is going to come as a shock. I'm glad you both are sitting down. They are run related goals. And here's why. You guys will know. And I am commonly thought of as probably triathlon's worst runner. And I make a joke of it, right? I have, and I shouldn't make a joke of it, but I long have. I'm not a great runner, but I used to be a good runner. And I still really enjoy running. It's just that I'm not very good at it. And I want to change that mindset about myself. I don't want to think like, oh yeah, I was a triathlete who couldn't run from here to there. And I want to change that mindset and feel better about my running. So I think I'm formulating some run related goals. I don't know what exactly those are going to be just yet, but it's also running is the most economical. Like you can go out and run for 20 minutes and get a great workout. It's really hard to drive to the pool and swim for 20 minutes and feel like you've accomplished very much, at least for me. So running is the most economical. I think I will be maybe not time wise, but effort wise, the most run intensive. And then I will keep swimming 2 to 3 times a week and hope to be on my bike probably twice a week, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. My schedule is evolving as my plans evolve. So I don't know. There is nothing set in stone.
You're like, all right. Before, I want to ask more about your plans evolving, but then I feel like before we've transitioned fully to Dede, I want to say, is there any other races this week coming up that any other news we're excited about before we hit holiday season?
Oh wow.
Before we start talking all about Dede.
Oh, Els Visser announced her retirement. I knew there was something I wanted to bring to the table. She announced her retirement just today.
And she's doing Western Australia this weekend, right?
Yes.
Yes, her last race.
And during your break as well, you may not have touched on this because she didn't do it at Arizona, which I thought was unusual since she raced there. Mel McQuaid also announced her retirement, but it was like a week after Arizona. So that might have been, I don't know if you guys touched on that in your last.
We did not, because she was funny going into Arizona. She was like, no, I'm not retiring. I'm not one of the people retiring. I still haven't decided. And then like a week later, she was like, actually, I'm retired. So I don't know if she I don't know what was going on there.
It was funny because I had gotten a text from Paula Newby Fraser, race week of Arizona, saying, hey, I've heard you're retiring. And I literally told like 3 people. And more people reached out. I was like, how did it get around the world?
Triathlon is a tiny university. I've explained this to so many pros. The reason I know is because, or whatever the random thing that they're like, how'd you know that? It's because everyone knows everyone. And everyone tells everyone everything.
But there were so few people who knew, and a lot of them are pretty good, like on lockdown. So when Paula texted me, I'm like, how the heck? And so I'm like, I'm not going to hide it, but I just wasn't really going to make a big deal of it. First of all, I didn't really think anybody would care. And I just wanted to kind of go. I wasn't going to do this big, like, woo announcement. I was just going to go away quietly. And so Paula texted me and she's like, yeah, you and Jody and Mare and Mel are all retiring. And then at the pro meeting, they had us all stand up if this was going to be your last pro race. And I'm like, seriously? Oh my goodness. So I stood up, but Mel sat down and I was like, what? And then it was a week later, she made her announcement. So she's another one who is joining the retirement class of 2025. We're a hardy group. There is a big group of us. Yeah.
Why do you think that is? We were talking about this 2 weeks ago. Why do you think there's so many this year?
I don't exactly know. It's weird to me also because there are so many more racing opportunities. Like if I wanted to keep racing, it's not like there's a shortage of opportunity for me to go out and find races that aren't necessarily like stacked T100 fields. Like I can go out and find places to race. So there's so many opportunities to race, but I think it is in some ways like there's a bigger separation between being able to make a living and not. Those that are making a living are making an excellent living now, but those that are not are really not. And I think like everybody in this global economy, things are tough. And I think financially, it might be harder for those not making a ton of money to make it work. I don't know, just a guess.
Hate indoor training? We have great news. We have partnered with Wahoo to offer you a special deal on the Wahoo Kicker Run, a treadmill that will convert even the most diehard treadmill haters. Wahoo, the same company that revolutionized indoor cycling training, has literally broken the treadmill mold with this machine. With its special run-free mode, you can just hop on it and run. It naturally adjusts the pace as you do, just like you would outdoors. Speed up, slow down, it moves with you as you do. It can also simulate the terrain by subtly tilting the angle from side to side, so again you feel like you're really running, not locked into an unnatural pace or place. Or you can lock it in or even program workouts, so it does put you through your training paces, including both inclines and declines. And it's stunningly quiet, even when you're humming along full tilt. Even if you love training outdoors, the Kicker Run is a game changer for year-round training. No more trying to navigate ice-covered roads, awful weather, or worrying about going out in the dark. We love it, and we think you will too, so check it out. Click the link in the show notes and use the code FEISTY, all caps, one word, FEISTY, to get a free Headwind Smart Fan valued at $300 with the purchase of a Wahoo Kicker Run. That's code FEISTY to get a free fan when you purchase a Wahoo Kicker Run. We will drop a link in the show notes to make it a snap. And right now, Wahoo is running a massive sale of 25% off the Wahoo Kicker Run. So click that link and get yours today.
Regular listeners of Feisty Podcasts will not be surprised to learn that for decades, running shoes have been researched, tested, and designed for men. Brands have relied on the shrink it and pink it approach to sell male shoes to female customers. But women's feet differ from men's in numerous ways. We have increased toe splay, higher arches, a more narrow heel, a lower ankle bone, upward angled toenails, and a rounded instep that is smaller in circumference. And because of all those differences, that is why we need HEDAs. HEDAs has unlocked the science behind women's biomechanics through dedicated research and creates running shoes specifically designed for women. So that means a lower heel collar to reduce rubbing on women's ankle bones, plate design to provide heel stability and to decelerate foot impact, rounded instep creating a snug fit through the middle to match the curvature of a woman's foot. Every feature is designed to give you more power and less problems. Breathability that lets your feet breathe easily mile after mile, plus fast-drying tech that doesn't allow sweat to slow you down, adaptive stretch that molds to your foot like it was made just for you. I personally have been running in HEDAs for over 2 years, and from the first time I tried them, I knew that there was something different. They really felt like they were made for me. The shoes are super light but provide good cushioning, and they really support my very high arches. I honestly didn't think I would notice the difference after running for so many years in male model shoes, but I really did. So, try HEDAs for yourself today. Go to hedas.com and use the code STAYFEISTY for 20% off. That is Stay Feisty for 20% off at hedas.com. The link will, as always, be in the show notes.
So you told me before we got on that you knew you were going to be done for a while, that you knew that Arizona was going to be your last one.
Yeah.
How did you decide that?
It's funny. Okay. So here's a story. When I was younger and I was, whatever, in the dating world, I dated a bunch of duds, right? I was just like, maybe just dating's not for me. And my mother always used to say, she's like, Dede, this shouldn't be hard. Like when you meet the right person, you're just going to know. And I was like, it sounded like such a mom thing to say. I'm like, come on, mom, like whatever. And I'll be damned, she was right. I met my husband and it was like on our second date, I was like, I actually think I'm going to marry this guy.
Interesting.
And it was sort of the same with triathlon, talking to other pros and good friends who have gone through the retirement process. I was sort of fascinated. I was like, how can you retire? This is so amazing. Like, what's not to love about everything that we do every day? And a lot of them have said, like, Dede, when it's time, like if you're still loving it, keep going. But when it's time, you're just gonna know. And I just kind of knew. And I knew because when I thought about, I think about it every year. My husband and I have a joke that for the last literally 20 years of my career, I always commit to racing one more year. it's not like I had like a 10-year plan or like here's my 5-year plan. Here's my quadrennium plan. We had our annual wine dinner where we would drink a nice bottle of wine and talk through like, is this still working for you? Am I still enjoying this? Do I still want to be doing this? What are my goals? And we make a decision together if we're gonna sort of keep going. So I had always committed to racing one more year. I never had this sort of long-term plan. And when I thought about it, it's like I don't have like, when I thought like, am I gonna race another year? And I sort of thought to myself, I think I'm ready to be done. Like I just sort of had that settled feeling of doneness, and I didn't have any regrets about it. I think it's hard to like, I'm 55 years old. So I think it would be really hard, and I would welcome anyone to try to debate me that I have left any ounce of opportunity on this professional triathlon bone. Like I have sucked all of the marrow out of this bone entirely. It's gone. Like I don't, there's nothing more I feel I want, like could achieve, want to achieve, want to prove, need to prove. I have enjoyed it so intensely. And I just had this feeling that it was time. And I feel really good about it.
What kept you active and in the sport as a professional for so long? Because it is such a long career that you've had in the sport.
So long.
I mean that confidently.
No, I know. Like, when I started my career, the wheels on the bike were actually square. No, I'm not joking. No, that's how long I've been.
But you know, we talk about keeping people in the sport and about bringing new people into the sport, but and we also get this thing of like it's a one and done, or that women, you know, we've got so many barriers to the sport and to doing Ironman, and yet Dede, your career spanned decades.
Yes. And like I think about the generations, and I've done this a lot, like sort of retrospectively over the last few months as things have started to sort of wind down, thinking about the people that were at the top of the sport when I came into the sport. Right? Like Lori Bowden and Heather Feuer and Paula had just retired from professional racing when I started. And I think about all of the generations of like Belinda Granger and Joe Lawn and Kate Major to Lindsay Corbin, to all of these generations of amazing women that have literally started their careers, had their careers and ended their careers, and I'm just still going. And it's interesting because I don't know that we'll ever see, we may see, but I don't know that we will see many 50-plus-year-old pros again, because the sport is changing. And I'm seeing this, and I wonder if you guys agree with this. We're seeing this sort of divergence between the age group ranks where longevity and I want to race until I'm 99 years old. And we're celebrating, I forget her name, the woman that finished Kona this year.
Natalie Grabeau, yeah.
Kudos to her. Amen. I want to be able to keep running until I'm 90 years old. Like I want to get out the door and run my mile when I'm 90. Like I want that kind of longevity for like the physicality of my life. I think if you look at the upper echelon of pros today, the volume with which they're racing, the intensity that they're racing at, I think if you ask them, like, do you want to be racing pro when you're 40? Half of them would look at you side-eyed and be like, oh, heck to the no. Like, absolutely not. Longevity, like they want to burn hard and fast and capitalize on all of these opportunities and be amazing. And that's great. I was just sort of okay for a really long time. And I don't know that that's necessarily something at the professional level, given the level of professional racing, that's going to be ever rewarded again. It's something that certainly we want to impart to the age groupers because triathlon is a lifestyle. Like I'm still swimming, biking, and running in retirement and want to be, but like by choice. And I hope that people want to do these things as part of their daily life because it's good for your health. It's good socially. There's so many benefits to it. But at the professional level, there's a real difference now between what's rewarded and what's valued and what's rewarded and valued at the amateur level.
Do you think that's because of all the new money and opportunities and racing?
Yes.
And like that's like, and because I've gotten the feeling that a lot of people are like, get it while the getting's good right now, race as much as you can and fast as you can.
And
Yeah.
honestly, what's required? Because
Mm.
I had this conversation briefly, it was via text with Paula as well. It's no longer swim, bike, run. It's no longer do your training, show up to the race and lay
Right.
your cards on the table and see who wins, right? It is this media machine where pros have these entourages of 16 people following them to races to do all of these things, and the media obligation. It's great because it increases the exposure of our sport. But as I aged through the sport, one of the things I really struggled to embrace was the whole social media aspect. I just really didn't think people would give a crap what I ate in a day, and I never embraced that whole video vlog YouTube channel thing, because I just, who cares? Like, really?
Many people care, Dede.
Apparently. And I was never one to live my life on social media. That, like, I post pictures of my dogs because I think they're adorable, but I just really didn't think that people cared what I ate in a day. And that is the requirement now at the top end of the sport. And I think it has to be exhausting. Like, just watching, I swim alongside some great athletes like Morgan Pearson's in our group, and Chelsea and Taylor, all swimming with us. And every day there's another camera on deck. And I was like, oh, who is it today?
Sure.
And that's got to be exhausting when you're just trying to get through your training day, but you have to do all of these, videos. And when the media is driving your training schedule outside of just Ironman race week, it's got to be exhausting. So I think the obligation on the upper echelon of professional athletes today is also much more intense than it was at the start of my career. And I think that burns people out as well.
I am like, yes, I think you're right. I also keep being curious if we've reached like peak athlete influence. You know what I mean? Like, to your point, who cares? Is the caring going to go down? Like, are we eventually going to be like, okay, that's enough? You don't think so?
I don't personally. I'm going to jump in. I don't think so, because what I'm seeing now is the amount of age group influencers that are coming through. So it's not just the pros who have the camera people and the entourage, for want of a better word, but you have like regular amateur age groupers who have a big social media following, who are now embracing this media and sharing their life story. And Dede, if you think you're not interesting, there's plenty of age groupers think that they are interesting. People want to follow. But people follow people. I worked in fundraising for many, many years. And the one thing we always said was people follow people. And I mean that genuinely, in terms of like, they want to know the personal story. And that's why the likes of Lucy Charles Barkley, when she started out first and she got professional with her sister Holly coming on board. And then you see like, you see Paula Finlay and Eric and what they've created. People are obsessed with finding out more. People who are age group athletes are learning how to swim on YouTube when they don't even have access to a pool. They just want content. They want knowledge. They want to learn, but they also want the personal journey. So I'm telling you, Dede, you missed a trick. You might have to do it in retirement. People want to know that you're eating Cocoa Pops for your breakfast and that you're feeding the dog at the same time. But just coming back to my point on the amateur side of things, like, you see it, a couple of the ambassador panels that we had are age group ambassadors that we had. Like, for example, Brad Howard, he was a party boy in Marbella. Party boy turned his life around and is now coaching, inspiring people doing triathlon. He raced in Nice, he raced in Marbella, and he's changed his life around, and he has thousands of people following him. You have the Marathon Princess, who has gone on to do loads of different things, and she charts her journey. Kelly Brannigan from the UK, just mentioning three that come to mind without even thinking about it.
It was years ago.
I'm not sure I could mention enough pros.
It was years ago. Ironman Tulsa, we spent more time on Noel Mulkey than we did on any of the pros in the field. And I had no idea who he was at the time. And I was like, who is this guy? And now I follow him, and I was like, I kind of like him. Like, I don't.
Oh, Noel's hilarious.
Yes. You want to follow. You want to see what they're doing.
I always admired the people with sort of that self-confidence that people would care. I just never, I just didn't assume that I was that interesting, that people would care. And maybe I did miss the boat, but at the same time, I maintained. I also have to ask, when people are out there with their media machines and creating this content that they're putting out there, are the age groupers really getting to know the person? Is that really the person? I beg to differ. Like, I don't know that how genuine what they're putting out there is, right? It's social media. It's the best. And I long for the people and I admire the people that put the crap out there too. Like, I'm having a terrible day and this is what it looks like.
Sure.
But I think that's where the following kind of comes from. It's the authenticity of it. And I think the people that have genuine followers and genuine engagement, and they're telling a genuine story, like the good, the bad, and the ugly, I think that's where you're seeing a lot more of it coming through. And actually, Dede, there's nothing to stop you sharing your
Maybe
story.
you should start now.
Do you know what?
Maybe you should start.
I kind of like, as my goals are evolving for what comes next, I have actually thought about it, but I
was like, Dede, you live in Boulder. You know some videographers. We could get this, make this happen.
It took me 20 minutes to figure out how to make my AirPods pair to my phone so I could be on here. I don't think I'm the one that's going to be starting my own YouTube channel anytime soon.
You can get some of your entourage to do that. I'm sure somebody will sort that out for you.
The funny thing is that I've advised younger pros. I was like, dude, you need someone to handle your social media for you. Go to CU. There's got to be like a marketing student who would be willing to do it for free or for like a free wetsuit. Right? Get someone to well, I'm not going to get a free walking treadmill, but that has that kind of knowledge. I just never knew how to. I mean, I think it was Ultraman Worlds. Laura Siddall was like telling me how to use Instagram. She's like, no, this is how we're going to do it. This is how you make a story. This is how you make a reel. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was 3 years ago. Like,
right.
What?
It may, no, I mean, it's interesting because I would say that in our audience, people listening right now, the fact that you were racing pro at 55, they would love to know more. Like they want to know, how did you do that? What was your recovery? What tips do you have for them? Like how can they, like that actually is crazy.
And how can they stay in the sport longer?
Yeah.
Like, it is this lifestyle piece, did your recovery take longer when you were 50 versus when you were 30? So probably it's what you would expect.
So share those tips right now, Dede. Tell the people, what are your tips?
I go to bed at 7 p.m. I'm not joking. That's my secret weapon. I am a sleep princess. I don't wear a tutu to bed, but I am a sleep princess. I am the queen of the Z's. It's funny with the athletes that I coach, I tell them, I was like, I have excellent response time. I used to work on Wall Street. I was a trader. To me, 0.4 seconds is an appropriate response time. Like that's what I was professionally trained to do working on Wall Street on a trading desk. Like, yes, no, right away. Like, get back to people. I'm like, but if you text me after 7 p.m., don't expect me to get back to you until after 5 a.m. Like, that is I'm out. No engagement. Sleep has always been super important to me. I'm also one of those odd endurance athletes who has always thrived on my gym work. I love my gym work. I have worked with some of the most talented strength coaches from the time I started doing gym work. When I lived in Boston, I worked with 2 incredible people in Boston. And since I've moved to Boulder, I've had a couple of the best of the best in my corner for strength work. And I thrive on it. And I never miss a session. So important. Peak of season, training 32 hours a week. I am still doing 3 gym sessions a week. And I think that's incredibly important to look after your body. I work with a PT proactively. I don't just go to the PT when I'm injured. I sort of have when I'm healthy, I still have a standing appointment probably once a month to just check in. There's always something that's a little tight, or, hey, this hamstring was bothering me like a week ago. It's backed off, but let's just take a look at it. And proactively using a really talented PT, I think, can also keep you healthy. And we know that consistency is 100% key. And at the end of the day, I just love it. You have to love it. So if there's something about your process that you're not loving, whether it's either the program that you're getting from your coach or the group that you're training with, if something is wearing you down in your training and you're not loving the process, you're not going to love your sport. And I've been very, very fortunate throughout my career to have excellent people in my corner throughout my journey, and they've kept it fun, and they've kept me up. I just love it. At the end of the day, people have asked me too about like being in the studio and being on the mic. I'm a dreadful introvert. Like if you get me in a social situation, I'm the one like staring at the floor, like, hi, right? Like I don't, I'm an introvert, but I am the biggest fan of the sport. And as a result, I think that's why I love the commentary and love being on the mic, because I want to sell these athletes and I want to sell this sport to anyone that'll listen. And that creates longevity, right? That's, if you love it, you're going to keep doing it, even when the rewards are sort of getting smaller and smaller.
And I mentioned before we came on air that we've actually never met, and I think this is the first time we've actually spoken.
Do you not hear? Do you not hear each other like in your ear?
Oh,
like...
I hear her all the time. I still.
She just hears the ambient noise I'm making, but like I hear Dede when I'm catching up watching the racing, when we get a break at a world championship. You're like trying to catch up, or maybe it's on the big screen, but we've never actually met or spoken to each other.
I know
directly.
They keep me locked up in studio, and I don't get to go out into the big wide world.
And then they tried to keep me locked up in the finish line, and I'm like, no, let me go.
I want to go mix and mingle. Oh gosh, yeah.
So wait, are you going to be doing more commentary now?
Gosh, I hope so. I love every opportunity that I get to do it, and I love the team I get to do it with. I have some great co-commentators, and the studio crew at BCC, they're like family to me. I love those people. They legitimately are like family to me. I've been doing commentary since I think 2016 or 17 I started. And then we started, of course, with Facebook Live in 2018. And from there, it's kind of grown. I mean, with Michael through the pandemic and all the VR stuff, and we were doing commentary from our homes in our basements, like with athletes riding trainers and everything. Like the journey has been amazing. I was not on the mic as much last year because, and I understand why, Ironman wants to bring in more voices, right? Like a greater diversity of voices, more international voices. And I support that decision, although it means I have to share the mic, which I love the opportunity to be a part of every race I get to be a part of. But they're bringing in more voices, so I don't know. I hope I will get to be a part of some of the shows next year and some of the broadcasts, and would like to maybe do more with Ironman. I'm not sure what that looks like. Again, that's part of my process right now. It's only been a couple of weeks, and actually on Friday, so in just a couple of days, my husband and I are putting our 3 dogs in the car, and we're actually driving to Cape Cod for Christmas. We're going to be on the Cape for 3.5 weeks, which everyone's like, you know what the weather is on Cape Cod at this time of year, right? Like you've seen the, I'm aware, but I'm a Cape Cod girl. I was basically raised on Cape Cod, and throughout the peak of my professional racing, I haven't gotten to spend as much time there as I would like since we've left Boston. And so Dave said to me when I retired, he's like, you want to take a trip? You want to celebrate? Like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to go to Cape Cod for Christmas with the dogs. He's like, that's a 30-hour drive one way. And I was like, yep.
Oh my gosh. Little insight for you there, Dede. I spent a summer on Cape Cod in my university years in Hyannis Port. I worked for Puritan Clothing and the Black Cat restaurant. I was on a special visa, like a student visa, but that was one of the destinations. So I went to Cape Cod for a summer. Oh my God.
Amazing. Yeah. We have a place in Chatham, which is like on the elbow. If you think about Cape Cod, yeah, we're on the elbow. And
this is going to turn into, and did you know Dave at the bar? Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah, totally.
Probably.
Yeah. And funny enough, you know, Eric Gilson, and actually real weird random thing. So 20 years before I was in Puritan Clothing on Cape Cod, which is like the big drapery, haberdashery, everything store, he worked for the Penn family. And so he was like, Joanne, I can't believe you worked there. And I was like, oh my God, Eric, this is so strange. So it's really weird to find people in such a small little place in a specific location. And they say that Ireland is small, but yeah, Eric Gilson and I both worked for the same family
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Yeah, I wanted to take this time through the end of the year and sort of purposefully away from Boulder and just have some space to think about like what's next. Like anybody that knows me, I'm a planner. I'm not a roll with it kind of girl. Like I have my plans have sub plans. Like I have pages and pages and pages of ideas and plans and things that I want to do, but I don't want to jump to anything. And so I really wanted to take some time in a peaceful, quiet place away from it all and sort of figure out what's next. I would love to do more work with Ironman. Like I feel so grateful to Ironman for the experiences that I've had. And I feel a strong desire to want to give back to the athletes, whether they're the pros or the amateurs, and help this organization like thrive moving forward. So what that might look like, I don't know. I had a great conversation with Scott Deroux when he was sort of on his world tour when he first came on. And I joked with him. I was like, well, you know, when I retire, I'm going to be sending you my resume. And he sort of smiled. He's like, well, what would you like to do? And I was like, well, I have an undergraduate degree from Stanford and an MBA from Wharton and an enormous aerobic engine. I was like, I have a great number of talents. I'm like, I could do just about anything. So I don't know what that looks like, but it definitely is something that speaks to me. I've loved my coaching. I work with Julie Dibbins and the JD Crew coaching, and I love helping other athletes and helping them sort out. Like I was a busy age grouper, granted it was a while ago, but I know what that's like to juggle work and triathlon and want to be great at both. So I love helping other athletes. I am getting strength certified so that I can work with athletes in the gym as well, because I love my gym work. And so I'm pursuing a lot of different options and ideas, but I just don't want to jump to any one. I want to let it settle a little bit and be thoughtful about my process from here.
You're not going to go back to becoming a Wall Street trader?
No. Well, it's funny because I was talking, my parents have been like, so what's next? And I've said some of these things and sort of my parents are huge supporters, by the way. So this is not a knock on them, but they are of a different generation. So when I'm saying all of these things, my dad's like, I'm like, you can get it out of your head now. I'm not going back to Wall Street. And they're like, oh. Like literally, like, right, of their generation, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're an engineer, you are a banker, you put on a suit, you go to the office. Like, it's a different economy. It's a different thing.
It's a totally different economy now. 47% of college kids want to become influencers, just our above discussion. So,
right. Which literally
Dede's going to be one of our influencers.
Which is still one of those things that makes me go, Like, I know I'm an old person when I'm like an influencer. Our old neighbors, literally, she was an influencer. Like she would like be out there like filming herself with her phone in her cute little romper from whatever company. Her entire home was furnished by Wayfair. They sent her all this stuff. And all the kids in our neighborhood were abuzz when they moved in because they knew who she was. And I'm sitting there looking at Dave and I'm like, is that a real job?
You see, you sound like your parents, right?
Exactly.
Why don't you go work on Wall Street?
I know. Guilty. Totally guilty. But no, I'm not going back to Wall Street.
Hey, Feisties. Sarah Gross here. We are so excited to be back with you here on our new, shiny, Feisty Triathlon podcast. Thank you for listening. I am so glad you're here. I want to tell you about one of the Feisty team's favorite recovery products, Prevenex's Neurify Plus. I use the chocolate flavor myself every day to support my strength training. At Feisty, we only support brands that our team uses and products that deliver results we have seen for ourselves. Prevenex's Neurify Plus is one of the best tasting plant-based and vegan shakes I've tried, and trust me, I've tried a lot. It contains balanced protein, carbs, and fat with comprehensive, high-quality micronutrients to help fuel your health. It also contains probiotics and digestive enzymes, so it's super easy to digest and doesn't give you that bloaty, gassy kind of effect that other protein products can produce. Unlike most supplement brands, Prevenex tests everything with pharmaceutical-grade precision, and they also offer a 100% money-back guarantee. So try Neurify Plus or any Previnex product today, and you get 15% off your first order with the code FEISTYTRY at Previnex.com. That's FEISTYTRY for 15% off at Previnex.com. The link will be, as always, in the show notes.
Can I come back to the Ironman commentary? What do you love about it? What do you love about the commentary about, and how special is it to be able to share the stories of the athletes as the races unfold?
Again, I think it comes back to the fact that I'm a triathlon nerd. I am like triathlon nerd number one. I'm a fan of the sport. So I get into these races and I get really excited. And I don't just get really excited about, like, believe me, we get all the feedback, like, you need to show more pros, you need to tell more stories. Yeah. I am just as excited about the person that's in like 15th place, who's coming back from a fractured pelvis from whatever. Like, those are the stories. I love telling those stories because they inspire me. Like, I'm a 21-year-old now retired veteran of the sport, and I'm inspired by those stories. And so when I see these athletes out there and I see some of these amazing performances that athletes are putting forward, I get excited. Like, I get emotional in the studio. Like, they're running down the red carpet. I'm like, 2025 Ironman champion. And like the hair on my arms is standing up. Like, I get emotional. I invest, and I just, because I love it. I'm amazed by everybody out on that race course, from the fastest of the pros to the last finishers across the line. Everyone has a story, and I am like, I suck it up. I eat it up. Just, yeah, I love it.
What's been your favorite of those moments?
Oh, I like
or
it.
One that stands out.
I could not pick. Just, it'd be easier for me to pick my winsable moments when I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Oh yeah, no, you always remember the things you wish you hadn't said.
And I will say this: the one thing, and I shouldn't say this because now I'm not saying it, so like I don't want to like forecast it. Keep in mind, I come from working on a Wall Street trading desk where foul language is actually encouraged. Mm-hmm. There are a variety of words that, are part of the everyday life on a trading desk. And my biggest concern when they invited me to do commentary was that one of those words was just going to slip on an open mic. And knock on wood, it hasn't happened yet.
Just don't let Kelly say it, because if Kelly says it, it'll happen.
So Kelly, you shut your mouth right now. Don't even smile. Shut those lips. I don't want it to come out of your mouth. But that is my biggest fear in the studio, for sure, is
And sorry, I was there. I started thinking that about not swearing, and I got totally down a hole. Out of your career, what has been your favorite kind of like the races that have stood out to you? Your favorite moments, your favorite places, your favorite?
I will say the most beautiful place I've ever been is Bariloche. That race only survived. I think it was only a pro race one time. It was a 70.3, and it was like March. Mm-hmm. And I went down there to race, and it was a combination of, it is a spectacularly beautiful place in the world that I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know the history. I didn't know the culture. I didn't know anything about it other than there was this race, and I was like, oh, I'll go there. And combined with the fact that there was a really great group of pros that were racing, like Alicia Kay was there. I remember I spent a lot of time with her and Jared. The group of pros that were racing were amazing. And we all like sort of bonded over the fact that we were in this tiny town, sort of in the middle of Nowheresville. And it was just one of those really special race experiences. That by far was probably one of my like favorite, from a sort of cultural and community perspective. Mm-hmm. I think like personally, my Ultraman races were really special because I've always been like I'm the worst athlete in our family. My husband is by far, he's way more athletic. Like anything, like he could beat me in just about anything except, aerobic sports. I am not athletic at all. And as a result, I've been in sort of a swimmer or a runner or, I've been in triathlon. These are all individual pursuits. But when you get to Ultraman, you cannot do that without a crew. And so it turns this individual sport into a team sport. And that team aspect, I had great performances both at Ultraman Florida and Ultraman Worlds. I literally couldn't have asked for much more, particularly out of Ultraman Worlds. And that was largely due to the outstanding nature of my crew. And I owe it as much to them as I do to my own physical body and mental strength. But that crew is an integral part of that performance. And so taking this individual sport and making it a team sport for that 3 days, I think those experiences were super duper special. And of course, like I loved every time I got to race in Kona. Racing the best in the world is an incredible opportunity. And the Ironmans that I won, those are also very, very special as well. So there's so many of them, but I think those are two sort of really, really special ones that stand out to me.
I think Joanne and I were sitting there thinking, oh, there's just so many Ironmans I won.
There weren't so many. There was 3. There's 3.
Well,
yeah,
that's a lot. Yeah.
It's more than some. It's less than a whole lot of others, but it was great. I have no regrets. This whole experience was it surpassed even my most wildest dreams and expectations when I quit my job on March 15th, 2005 was my last day on Wall Street. And when I quit my job, my husband and I were almost giggling. We just thought it would be this funny story we would tell our friends in a bar one time. Like, remember that time you quit your job and raced as a professional triathlete for a year? Oh my God, that was hilarious. And 21 seasons, it's incredible. So no regrets. I wasn't the best. I wasn't the worst. I was just kind of okay for a really long time.
I think you're very hard on yourself. You need to change that. You need to change that harshness that you're giving yourself. And what I'd love to know is, what has the sport taught you that you never expected?
I think it has made me a lot more resilient in terms of I am hard on myself and I am a bit of a perfectionist. And I think any kind of elite athlete or an athlete with those kind of aspirations has to be, to a certain extent. When I was in college and swimming, I would literally miss one repeat of one set of 5100s by a 10th of a second. And I would wear that 10th of a second like a hair shirt for 3 days after that one session. And when I started triathlon as a professional, I had it in my head, I want to right some of the wrongs that I had in my elite swimming career, to be a smarter athlete. It's a different sport, but I want to be smarter. And I can't say that there haven't been bad workouts that I've been frustrated by or bad races that I've been upset about. But I think I have, in general, become much more resilient in that when I get knocked down, I just get right back up. It's not even a question. Are you going to get back up? It's just get back up and go. Right. And so I think at one point in my earlier triathlon career, and certainly in swimming, I laid on the mat a lot longer before I was able to get myself up and go. And now I sort of get up first and ask questions later. And I think that is the one thing at any level of the sport that is the sport demands, because it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Dede. To wrap up, then, here's my last question. What do you wish you had told that girl 21 years ago?
I mean, I think the one thing that, I don't know. I've tried to be, because this was my second journey through kind of world-class sport. Mm-hmm. I really tried to be have the presence of mind to have this sense of appreciation. Plus, I think my 8-year career on Wall Street, between my swimming career and my career in professional triathlon gave me a sense of appreciation that this is better, right? Like
Sure.
a bad day on a triathlon course is still 1,000 times better than a really good day on Wall Street. I liked my job. It was competitive. It was fast paced. There was so much about it that was great. But I really realized it wasn't me. I was doing it to kind of because that's what was expected of me and that's what everybody did, right? Like I was following the herd. And when I decided to become a professional triathlete, something inside of me was like, this is you. Like, this is what you were meant to do. Like, even when I went to Wharton, I kind of wanted to study sports management. I wanted to be involved in sport because sport had, even before triathlon, sport had given me so much in my life that I wanted to be involved in sport, be an athletic director at a university, be involved in sport because I think it enhances people's lives in such a positive way. Even if you're just a fan of sport, right? Think of fans at football games. Like, how great is that? And yet I was like a little lemming. I got to Wharton. I was like, oh, everyone studies finance. Okay, here we go. And I ended up on Wall Street and I made the most of it. But when I started professional triathlon, I was like, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And so I really did try to have an appreciation that I'm choosing to do this and it's pretty freaking awesome. So I don't want to say I don't have any regrets and there's not things I wish I had maybe done differently, but I think I really had the presence of mind to be the best I could in that moment. Yeah, I could, in retrospect, have made different choices at different times throughout my career. But in general, I'm actually really, really proud of the intentionality with which I trained and raced for 21 years.
I think that's an amazing spot to end our episode.
I agree 100%.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Dede. And I think we're all, going to wait and see what you do next. Hopefully, they take you up on. Send your resume. Yeah. YouTuber. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We have 2 more episodes before we'll be taking a holiday break. You can rate, review, share on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Music. And we'll see you next week.